For those of you that don't know me, I have 9 years of Joomla experience. I run a company called Monif Software and Joomla XTC, which is a template and extension club. I also am the organizer of the Tampa Bay Joomla user group in Tampa, Florida, and I had my very first Joomla Day Florida this last February. I also have some Facebook user groups. Thank you, yes, it was wonderful. I also have Facebook user groups for Joomla, which are Joomla extensions and Joomla templates. So in this session, I'm going to be talking about how you can acquire new clients from Joomla itself, how we can all help Joomla grow, how we can increase revenue, and the rise of web builders, and what we can do about that. So I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to sell you miracle water that you'll receive all the money and miracles, but I do have some good ideas, and I hope I can be very helpful today and you can learn something. So how many people have followed this trend on Google? Nobody? Wow. Okay. Welcome to where Joomla is. This is the start of Joomla. Joomla was at its peak around 2010. Then we see this little drop happen, and then it's downhill from there. And this is just search relevance from Google. So you can take this with a grain of salt. You know, you can say that, well, there's not that many people searching for it anymore because they've heard of it, you know. But the stats are very different with WordPress. WordPress is on its way up, and then it drops down. So we have a lot of work to do. The one encouraging thing here is if we look right now, we see a little jump. We don't know where that's going, but we do know one thing, that the only way is up. It can't get much lower. We are down to the bottom there. So let's talk about the issues that happened there. So back around 2010, we had the Joomla 1.5 to 2.5 backward compatibility issue. This drove a lot of Joomla people away. This made people very frustrated that they couldn't update their client site without a lot of hard work. And for the whole thing, it's not all on Joomla itself. It is a fault of Joomla template providers who didn't update their templates in time, but it was, the whole upgrade wasn't really discussed well with the whole community. It just happened, and we learned something there, that we need to be as backward compatible as possible. There is Joomla's image problem, and that was from the backward compatibility, and Joomla does have an image problem still. I went to a hosting con this year with Mike Demo, and we talked to all the hosting companies, and they all said the same thing, that there is an image problem with Joomla. Number one, the backward compatibility. They talked about security issues, and they told us that it's insecure. So we had to let them know, when's the last time you looked at Joomla? You know, they weren't really paying that much attention. They were very surprised to see us there, but that there are problems, and the whole problem of, oh, Joomla's very difficult to use, which we all know, we use it every day. It's not that difficult. It's not that much harder than WordPress. It just has more features. And then there's the rise of WordPress. WordPress started as just a blogging platform, and that was fine. Then around 2010, 2011, people started to build things for it, and WordPress actually put together, they said, well, let's do WooCommerce. Let's do a BuddyPress. And the interesting thing about it is WooCommerce is owned by the same company that owns WordPress. So you think about WordPress, it's free, they're making money, you know. And so the whole thing with WordPress is people default to that because they think it's easier. And that's part of our image problem. And then there's bad press and incorrect information. I don't know how many of you have been to a blog post that compared WordPress and Joomla. How many of people have been to seen those? Okay, how many people said that there was incorrect information there about Joomla? Okay, so that's part of the issue. And within the organization, there's growing pains within Joomla, within the whole thing, because this is an amazing project. I'm surprised that I'm standing here in front of you 11 years after the beginning. Because if someone would have come to me and said, let's start a software project that we're going to give away, and it's going to be free, and everybody's going to work for free, I wouldn't have been part of that. But somehow I am now, and it's an amazing thing. And that's part of everything that's going on right now with the reformation of the working groups and everything, it has to happen. We've got to get the project on track. So with these issues, at least we know what the problems are, and we know that there can be solutions. So let's talk about getting new clients from Joomla itself. So how many people here consider themselves a Joomler? Okay, hopefully everybody. Okay, now how many people have their profile up on the Joomla volunteers portal? Just one person? Okay, so does everybody not know about the volunteer portal?
Maybe they're not volunteers.
You don't have to even be a volunteer to sign up for it.
Is that right?
That's
correct.
correct.
You wouldn't get assigned to a team.
To a-
Be a Joomler. So everybody
Yes.
go to volunteer.joomla.
Yes, exactly. Everybody needs to go to the volunteer site. So you can put your profile up here, and you don't have to be part of a working group. You don't have to be part of a team. You can just put your profile up, and here's my profile. It looks very small. I'm on one team now, but then you can see my full description. Within a month of putting this up, I had 4 people contact me saying, can you help me with my Joomla site? I'll pay you. I need this done. I need that done. I wasn't looking for that, but I started getting leads from it, and I went, wow, this is pretty amazing. So there's the URL. Go there. I mean, I'd say as soon as you get out of this session, just sign up, or at least tonight when you're in your hotel room, put your picture up, get yourself up there. Next is how many people have a company that provides a Joomla service such as web design or, okay, just everybody. Are you on the resource directory? Okay, so a few people here. Joomla has a resource directory if you didn't, everyone else that doesn't know. You can go in there and they have different categories and you can put your business up there. And this is a place that's right on the Joomla website. So if somebody is new to Joomla and they need help, they can go right here on the resource directory. Yes?
I just went on there and I got a client within a month.
Yeah, so you just got a client within a month. Yes, yes, because there are people that have a Joomla project and maybe they're new and maybe they just wanted to do it themselves and they need help. And where are they going to go? They're going to go right to Joomla's main site. So if you're not on this site, this is something you have to do immediately. And the URL for that is resources.joomla.org. And next, we need to be the solution, not the problem. This is a picture of the Titanic as if it were sinking today. Everybody with their cell phones just watching it. We're not going to get this project together and moving, and none of us are going to make more money until we make Joomla better. And there's really only one way to do that, and that's volunteering. And you don't have to do a lot. It's not something that's going to take up your whole work week. And there is a team out there that you can get excited on. I'm with the Joomla site showcase team now, and that's okay. I like it. I'm interested in some other teams, but I wanted to try it out. And it doesn't take me, it takes me a couple minutes a day, just going in there and approving sites and looking at it, and it's helpful. But there's something for everybody. You don't have to be a coder. You can do, if you want to write, you can work for the magazine. You can get that, anything that you want to do, you can do inside the Joomla volunteer portal. And one quote that I like from Stan Lee, I worked for Stan Lee on a media project back in the late 90s, and one of the things he told everybody is we all have superpowers. If we can join our powers together, we'll be unstoppable. And that's kind of what Joomla is. Everybody in this room has a skill that they can offer. And offering it to Joomla just helps the project, and if it helps the project, then it helps you. And so you can volunteer at volunteers.joomla.org. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about increasing revenue for your business. So how many people here offer their clients monthly managed services? Good, everybody, okay. So that's a good thing. So that's something that a lot of people don't do. They think that you just pass the client off when you get done with their website, but as we all know, a website's never done. There are some interesting things that are coming up now. There is Perfect Dashboard, which Alexander's here. That handles your website updates. And they handle all the extensions, so you just sign up for his platform, and they'll update Joomla when it's time, and they'll test it and make sure that it's updated. And as well, they will also update any third-party extension, and they'll do it for you. So that's
He has a talk this afternoon at 4.
correct.
in the Architect Knowledge.
Correct. He's right after this session, so if you're interested in that, and that's one way that with these managed services, these things that you offer, think about how that you can automate them, so where you don't have to do them, so you can focus your time on other ways to make money. Next, how many people use affiliates to generate cash? Okay, one person. There are some very good affiliate programs that you can even be part of as a Joomla user. If you use templates from any one of the many template clubs, Joomla Art, Rocket Theme, they all have an affiliate program where you make money back. So if you sign up a new client for it, you bill them that money and then you get your money back, as well as hosting companies. One of the best plans for affiliate that I found is Cloud Access, who is here now. They will pay you a monthly payment on that money that they get from your client. So it's not just, oh, here's $25, I got a new client. They're going to be paying you a percentage every month. Mike Demo showed me this, and he has over 100 clients running on their platform. So he gets a check every month. And cutting expenses is another thing. You know, you spend a lot of time in your business worrying about where the next project's coming from, what you're doing. But a lot of times you need to actually assess, is everything working with my expenses? Take, for instance, hosting. I had a hosting plan. I've been with Media Temple. I was with them for about 5 years, 6 years. I flip-flopped around. I was with Media Temple recently, a year ago, and they had a little downtime. And I said, well, let me check out some other things. And through talking to the Joomla community, talking again to Mike Demo and a few other people, he said, check out InMotion, who is here right now. I was paying $350 for a server from Media Temple a month. I was running, my website is a main website that gets a lot of traffic. Then I have 80 Joomla installs for demos, or 81 now, and I've got about 30 sandboxes that are running. So I have a lot of Joomla sites on there. I cut that with InMotion down to $69 a month with a VPS. That's a huge savings. Another way that you can cut expenses, how many people use a service for email marketing, such as MailChimp or Constant Contact or any of that? Okay. There is a PHP program out there called Sendy. It costs $49 to buy it. You install it on your server, and it does pretty much so the same thing that those companies do, but it uses the Amazon Web Services to send it. So where I was spending, I think I'd gone up with MailChimp. I would think I'd hit the $250 a month mark. I think it started at $100 or $150. I got up to $250 mark. Just by using the Amazon Web Services and Sendy, I'm only spending $30 a month on my marketing emails.
Is that Sendy?
Sendy. The next thing you can do is get certified. There are tons and tons of web developers out there and Joomla developers, and to stand out from other people, become certified. If somebody's looking at you as, okay, well, you're a Joomla person, okay, I've seen you've done these websites, here's another company that does Joomla, or they do that. Get certified, and that way you have the upper hand on that. And the certification, as you've heard, is going on Sunday. The exam training is on Saturday. I would suggest that if you want to do this, that you definitely take that training. I think there's less than 10 people so far that have passed it. I know people that have not passed it, and it's not easy, but it shouldn't be easy, because not everybody should be able to get that. And the next thing is we need to share the Joomla love. This goes back into looking at all those blog posts where people are putting up a blog saying, oh, well, WordPress is so much better, this is so much better. All we did was we sit back and watch. We just watched and said, well, nothing's going on. This year, we had an article in the Joomla magazine that said the fall of Joomla. And it was a pretty positive article about, yes, numbers are down, but we're doing things and we can be better. And so that started a whole thing. I wrote a thing about why people should look at Joomla 3 who use WordPress. and then other companies started writing good articles. We need people to put out positive articles out there. For every negative article about Joomla, there needs to be a positive Joomla story. And this can help you in your business. If you write a blog post about Joomla, or say, talk about a feature that Joomla has, talk about how great when the 3.7 comes out, we're going to have extra fields in it. Talk about, wow, that's great. Now we have extra fields in Joomla 3.7. And write a nice blog post about it, share it on the social network, drive the traffic back to your site, and that'll actually showcase your site and your Joomla knowledge. You can also write for the Joomla magazine, write a nice positive article, because we really need that out there, because there has been so much negativity throughout the years on Joomla that we need the positivity to happen at this point. And we can always learn more. That's the next thing. If you're a web designer and you're just focused on the front end and you don't know PHP, you don't know the JavaScript, it's time to learn. It's time to sit down and say, well, let me just tackle this. Let me learn one little step at a time, because these are things that we need a skill set. We don't need to be stuck in one place. You need to be very adaptive for your client. If your client doesn't need Joomla, you need to have a solution for them. There's other solutions out there. I would say always use Joomla. I don't think I've built a Joomla website with anything other than Joomla in 9 years. That's all I do. I've played around with WordPress. I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. But for me, I need to actually get into that and be able to offer that, because the more that you can offer your client, the better. And the thing about Joomla too is we have a great community. Great community. If you have a client that needs some help with something that you don't know, reach out to the Joomla community. Be active. I mean, everybody's here to network and meet. So use that knowledge and find somebody to help you to increase the revenue. So now let's talk about the rise of the web builders. This is a scary subject to me. I'm paying a lot of attention to this because web builders are nothing new. They've been around for a while. But these companies like Wix, who I think Wix used to be on Flash, now they're not Flash anymore because Flash is dead, and they're getting more advanced and more advanced. Then you had Squarespace come out. Squarespace had a Super Bowl TV ad. Went to New York City, got in the back of a cab. There is an ad for Squarespace playing on the TV in the cab. How can we compete with that? You can't. It's just not going to happen. But what we can do is we can find out how we can service these people and how can we offer these people something, and how can we actually get to them. So times are changing, and the website, the DIY website audience, who is that audience at this point? It's small businesses, personal sites, and first-time site owners. Why do they choose these services? Number one is because of the marketing. We can't compete with the marketing. And the marketing says it's easy to use. And it's cheap. And they think they can do it. So who are these people? Number one, they're obviously not web designers because they're using a web builder. They're probably not even graphic designers. And they probably have little to no knowledge or basic or no experience at building a website. So thinking about that, we have something we can offer them because we have these skills. Now, how do we make them believe us that, oh, Joomla can be for you? So what they're looking for is they're looking for drag and drop. They're looking for simplicity. So what's happening in Joomla now is now we have Joomla page builders. There's a few companies here today, like Joomshaper. They've made SP Page Builder. SP Page Builder gives you pretty much so the exact thing that these companies like Squarespace are doing. You just click on an area, you can edit it right there on the front end of the website, and you have options. This is the new version of SP Page Builder. And then when you click on it, you can put in a Joomla module, an accordion, a block quote, an article, a button group. And this is very easy to build a website for a client with, and then let the client work from there. And now another new trend that has just started is Joomla site builders. We're all familiar with the different frameworks that are out there for templates, I'm sure, like Gantry and T3 and Helix and things like that. But now some companies are moving straight into site builders that mimic the whole thing of Squarespace or Wix. Joomla Art just released their JA Builder. You can build a Joomla site in minutes, and it's basically drag and drop, the simplicity of Squarespace or Wix. As well, Utheme just released their new version of Warp Pro, and it's the same thing. It's a builder. So the problem, though, it will be how do we actually get these clients? How do you convert? How do you get the clients that would normally do Wix? So what we can do is we can build a lead machine for this. So you can create a landing page with a call to action. Say, you know, we know Wix, we know Squarespace. Put some statistics in about your knowledge, and then offer like a free white paper download about what you need to know before you put together a Squarespace site, and then an email subscription form. Then what you can do is put it on the social networks. You can use AdWords and direct it right toward that market. So you'll have people coming because they're going to be on Facebook and they're interested in Wix, and okay, so you've just collected an email. So that means that you've just got a lead. In the white paper download, you can do things like 10 things you need to know before you build a Wix website, or you can say 5,000 free images for use on your squarespace.com site and show them one of the free stock photo sites. It can be very simple. And something like, is Squarespace the right solution for your website? In this white paper, we'll outline the top 10 questions you need to ask yourself before starting a web project, things like that. But then in the follow-up email, you can offer a free website evaluation and have a consultation link. And from there, you can collect more information. Now you've just turned it from a lead to having all the information, and offer a brief description of your services. So right there, you've got people that need help, because people that are building these Squarespace sites and these Wix sites, half of them don't know what they're doing, and they're going to run into problems, and so they're going to need help. You can offer them help. You can offer them your services. You can turn them around to Joomla if you choose. So next part, how many people in the room here do extensions and
Do you mean like
develop? How many people here develop extensions and sell them? Okay. So part two is about that. What we can do to help our revenue stream. Number one, what we've seen is right now it's all about customer retention. We have customers out there. The Joomla growth is slower than normal, so we need to retain our customers. We need to consider new subscription models. Maybe the subscription models that we've been using out there, say, get everything for 1 year. We need to look at those and see if that's actually working and how we can make that better. Also, we need to do Joomla partnerships. We're all in this together, so we need to reach out to every other extension developer and every other template club and say, so what, how can we work together? What can we partner on? How can we do something to make Joomla better? And the ways that we can retain our customers is through fast and personal support. There are options there. Is forum better than ticketing support? But at the end, if you have fast and personalized support, your customers are going to love you. New products, we all need to put out new products. Product updates all the time. I've seen a few of some newer people out there that have been releasing extensions, and maybe they only have one or two. When you have 20 or 30, it's really hard to do constant updates. But if you focus on one or two and make that your high priority, you can do product updates that your customers want, because your customers are always going to be telling you what they want, and generally we need to add that. Also, limited product support and downloads. That's a hard thing. When I started with my company, I wanted to give people unlimited support. You buy once, you get support from me for the lifetime, and I wanted to give them lifetime downloads. That just doesn't work. You get that $29 or $39, because the stuff that we make for Joomla, it's not expensive. It's not in the hundreds of dollars. There's maybe 3 or 4 extensions that are $200 that I know of. So what we need to do is we need to actually tell people that, okay, so you download it maybe 6 months from now, you can renew for your support. And then there's the thing of limited support versus VIP support. You know, what's a customer need? You know, you can give people basic support, but if you can offer VIP support that's fast and, you know, give them some more options of what you can do. You know, with my company, limited support means that I'll answer your questions, but I might go to your website and look at it, but I'm not going to build your site for you, and I'm not going to go into your site and actually recode something you need. VIP support, sure. Do you want me to do some HTML markup that you need? Fine, I can do that. The other question is, with subscription models, auto renew versus manual renew. You know, that's a tricky subject. When you have a subscription model where PayPal, you can have an auto renew, so it automatically renews people. Then versus manual renew. You need to look at and maybe have two different options. Maybe have an option where, okay, this option is cheaper. Maybe something like, okay, do you want everything for a lifetime subscription? But a lifetime doesn't mean that you pay once. That means let you start at $39 and then we'll charge you $5 a month. And that's an auto renew through PayPal, so it's automatically doing it. And then a manual renew might be, you know, okay, so you want everything at once and you only want to pay once. Okay, it's $89 for a year. Renewal discounts are important to make sure that the customer feels that, you know, they've been with you for a while and that they feel that they're getting a deal. And partnering with update companies. Again, this is another way that we can definitely assure that we're getting the most from our extension updates is to partner with people like Perfect Dashboard, which will automatically update that extension, automatically notify the user that, hey, this extension needs to be updated now. And that's my session.
Can I add something to your list?
Sure.
Joomla user groups.
Yes. Yes. I forgot about that.
Being
That's
involved in a Joomla user group can also do a lot for your business, whether that be getting new leads or people that you can work with and partner with, all of that crap. And there's tons of them, though they are shrinking. And I will have a Joomla in action session tomorrow if you guys want to create a jug.
right, and that's another thing. The Joomla user group, if you don't have a user group where you're at, start one. Because that's another way that you can take these clients that don't know much about the web and that maybe might use a site builder. You can say, well, you know what, we can offer face-to-face time every month where we're going to be teaching you how Joomla works.
Well, and that's how people often find me. I get more leads off Meetup than I do from the JRD, which is the resource directory. And so, and they're better quality leads. Like the ones that I get off the JRD sometimes are like, yeah, I want the e-commerce site and I want it for $600.
Yeah, that's a common thing now. Is exactly.
So, but through Meetup, they're often looking for someone and they're looking locally. So it's an option. I'm happy to talk to anybody about it because I'm obviously loud.
It's okay. Yeah. Any questions? All right.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome. And I ended a little short, so we get an extra break since there was a smaller break.